Chapter 7, Part 219, Control of Alcohol and Drug Use, Overview, Toxicology Boxes, Part 219, Guidance, FRA, Part 219, Teams, Drug Alcohol Testing involving public highway gradeway crossing accidents. Chapter 7, Part 219, Control of Alcohol and Drug Use. The use of the ordinary circumstances of each FRA region has applied. Assigned Part 219 team leader added the least of one of the assistant Part 219 team leader. Field inspections are not to perform Part 219 inspection, handle the Part 219 complaints, provide information to any of the railway regarding the Part 219 without the guidance and knowledgeable regional managers. Review of the regional parts of the 219 team members. All Part 219's audit will be coordinated with the Part 219 team leader. Toxicology boxes. Part 219 of the post-accident toxicology test requires the use of toxicology boxes, also called tox boxes, to collect the blood and urine. These two types of the tox boxes are used as described below. The standard post-accident tox box is used to collect blood and urine samples from the surviving employees. A fatality post-mortem tox box is used to qualifying events of fatality. The fatality tox box will only distribute to the large railroads. If the smaller railroad attempts to order the fatality box, the check will be returned. If the small railroad has a qualifying event that requires the fatality tax box, the railroad must notify the federal government. National Response Center. The FRA will overnight the fatality tax box, and the medical examiner of the small railroad can borrow one for the Class 1 railroad nearby as practical. Part 219 Guidance. Operational practice. The field inspector must not present during a part of 219 testing and drug and alcohol testing being conducted by the railroad under its own authority. Inspector who finds themselves in the area of the last test that is being conducted must leave the immediate area and have no contact with the railroad employee or with the collectors during the collection process. Likewise, if the post-accident collection of the process independent of the medical physical facility, inspectors must become involved with the collection process. The FRA uses the mock collection to evaluate the compliance with alcohol drug collection procedures. Operation Protectors inspectors must reference the Part 219 manuals regarding the Part 219 guidance, the FRA interpretation of the Part 219, and the U.S. Department of Transportation or Office of the Drug and Alcohol Policy compliance with the interpretation of Part 40 found in the FRA's website at fra.gov. The interpretation includes but not limited to the following: Part 219 Alcohol Drug Program Compliance Manual, Part 219 Inspection Tools Manuals, the FRA State Inspectors. Alcohol Drug Testing Regulations, Part 219 and 40 Imperative Guidance Manual. Regulation of the drug alcohol testing of the FRA authority are found in Part 219 and can be referenced only, but the FRA.gov with the download safety Part 219 complete PDF. Regulations governing the testing procedure for all parts of the time. So Part 219 testing expecting post-accident toxicological testing are found in Part 40 that can be referred to online.gov, ost.dapc, new docs, Part 40 HTML. The FRA inspector enforces the FRA regulations, Part 219, the regulation found in Part 40. The general information regarding the FRA drug alcohol program can be referenced online at FRA.gov, pages of the 504 for FRA Part 219 teams. Alright, FRA Part 219, each of the regional designated alcohol drug team leader, the chief inspector designated assistant team leader, operational practices that have received and achieved training on the alcohol drug regulations are tasked with overseeing the performance of commutator railroad class 2 and 3, the railroad alcohol drug and compliance reviews. Within this region, the regional 219 teams, the leader should be consulted with on all Part 219 Part 40 complaints within finding, and including the finding of the recommendation. All Part of the 219 audits will be coordinated with the Part 219 team leader. Designated team leaders spend up to 50% of the time of the alcohol drug issue in accordance, including schedule leading issuance, final inspection reports covering the Class 2, Regional Class 3, commuter railroad alcohol drug compliance reviews, initial and follow-up, assisting with educational suggestions and remedies and findings of non-compliance, reviewing the use of the contractor volunteers performing the covert service duties for all the railroad that you do ensure the compliance with the alcohol drug relations. Issues of reviewing the regional alcohol drug violation reports are assigned by the region. Investigating reviewing the regional complaint of the investigating reports is assigned by the region reviewing the handle of the FRA post-accident toxicological testing troubleshoot reports and received the headquarters as assigned by the region. Preparing field reports based on investigation alcohol drug waiver requests and monitoring compliance with the waiver and condition. Providing required reports to the FRA drug alcohol program manager for the use of determining the compliance with each of the railroad covered under the scope of the Part 219 with the region. Operational practice inspectors who have the specific question about 219 program. Questions about Part 219 related complaint should contain the team leader or the designated assistant team leader. Operational practice may be assigned to the Part assist to the Part 219 as needed for the audit and alcohol drug related complaints as needed, but depending on the regional performance, operational practice inspector may be requested for the regional manager to conduct the Part 219 audits on a small railroad whether than fewer than 16 covered employees. Operational practice should be asked for the part of the 219 team leader for the copy of the most recent audit checklist in which to assist with the conducting of this audit. Drug alcohol testing involving the public highway railway grade crossing accidents. When conducting a Part 219 inspection of the drug alcohol testing involved with the public highway railway grade crossing accident, inspectors should be governed with the guidance below. As part of the safety mission, the FAA requires the responsible railroad through regulation to conduct alcohol drug testing on the train crews that have been involved with the qualifying major accidents. The FAA alcohol drug testing Part 219 generally exempt a train crew that has been involved with the highway railway grade crossing accident with the federal testing. Trains have much more longer distance to the stopping the car, trucks, other motor vehicles. At 55 miles an hour, it can take more than a mile for the train to stop. For the reason, a crew that has a little no chance of avoiding the impact with the time that have been spotted by the person vehicle stopped on the tracks. FRA regulations preempt the state local regulations requiring the test railroad employee the train accident, but there is an exception to the enforcement of the state local criminal laws. Local police may test the train crew under their own authority if they are probable cause to believe that the crew contributed to the cause of the severity of the highway railway grade crossing accident. As explained above, the train crew involvement in the fatal crash should not be the only factor determining whether probable cause of testing exists. Insert chapter here, tab, and then on to Part 8, Railroad Communications.